divine, and you need to connect your higher self for you to able to manifest your reality. And remember that your higher self doesn't have limitations like what you have and what I have now in the body, right? As soon as you leave the body, you don't have those limitations. Your higher self is on the other end, can see all things, and can remember, because you and I have chosen the veil of forgetfulness, right? We came in here and forget everything, and now we had to live life, be children, and become adolescents, and become adults, young adults, and then we get older, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, well, we leave here after a while, okay? But however, your life experience and manifestation, what you're creating here, begins at the time you were born to the time you pass, right? And there is a time you don't even remember who you are, you don't understand who you are, right? However, certain of us are given times that we will remember who we are. So if this type of content is resonating with you, and you're on this channel now watching my live, that means somehow within you there's an alignment and understanding, basically, right? There's something that you are interested in that I'm talking about. That's why you're even on this live, meaning that spirit is saying to you that yes, you need to wake up. Wake up. We need to all wake up. It's time to wake up to who we truly are. That we are not victims, that we are to create as creators, that everything in our life experience we are actually creating. And this is what Wayne Dyer established in his life, and he began to teach people, because he studied psychology, then he started being interested in spiritual things, and he became a self-help author as well, right? Using spiritual principles, right? So his core teachings about that, to activate your inner yourself, right? And your inner God in that sense. I was talking about your inner God yesterday. Pete, you were not on my live. I was talking about changing and connecting yourself to your higher self in a sense, but also claiming your God status. Okay. So God status means that you create your own reality. That simply means that you are God. That even in religion, they tell us that you are God. There's so many verses in the Bible speaking about humans being God, being creators, right? Even Jesus, when he came in, he said that in one of the verses in New Testament, they speak about Jesus saying that you will do even more than what I have done. You will achieve more than what I have done, because of all the miracles that he has been doing when he was on this earth, according to the Bible teachings of what they have kept uh, given us that information. But I'm sure there's much more that Yeshua did when he was alive that is not mentioned in the Bible. Okay, a lot of things like his life between the age of 12 and 30, what really happened in that period, what happened to that character. It's like you writing a story, a life story of a person, but you don't put the full information. You only put a certain part of it, and now there's a lot of questions people want to know. I'm one of those people want to know what happened between the age of 12 and 30, 31, when Jesus just reappeared in the New Testament. Where was Jesus? You get my point? What was going on in the life of that character Yeshua, right? What was really going on in that time? Where did you go? How was his evolution in life, right? It's like you telling a story of a child who was a gifted child, and then you just talk about his birth. You talk about the time he was 12 and he was curious and learning, and he was very intelligent. And next minute, there's nothing about him again. And then only when he's 30 something years old, he appears, and now he's a hero. But you don't know how did he get all that knowledge and that wisdom. You have no idea, because at the age of 12, he was busy questioning the Pharisees and all those other spiritual leaders in the synagogue. Okay, he was questioning them. So what happened to him? I know that in the Judaism or the Jewish religion or philosophies or lifestyle, there's certain milestones that youngsters go through, especially boys. Okay, did he go through that process? What happened? We don't know. Right? We don't know exactly what happened. We only know that all of a sudden he was all enlightened, and then he was saying he was the son of God. Okay, meaning that every single person is the son of God. You are the son of God. I'm the daughter of God, or son of God, whatever you may call it. I am divine. You are divine. That's what Jesus was saying, basically, that we all divine, coming from source, We're all coming from source, and you can call yourself the sons and daughters of God if you want to, right? Or else you can call yourself a God because you're already given that God status. Okay, for example, a king, his children will always have that royalty or royalty energy, right? A creator who created beings, that means those children or those his creation also have that same quality, basically, right? However, people were given a choice to actually take the power or not, right? So Wayne Dyer, in my own opinion, he actually understood the concept that we are all powerful. That's why he was teaching it, right? That you can heal yourself, right? There's stories in his book speaking about how he helped heal people by teaching them about their power, right? Teaching them about perceptions, changing your perceptions and raising your frequency, right? He was teaching people how to take control of their own life experience, okay? And that's a wonderful thing to do when you're helping others become who they truly should be or who they truly want to be. You understand? He helped heal people, right? So you can, otherwise, you can say that, yeah, maybe you could even say he was the modern maybe the modern healer, spiritual leader at the time, because he never touched people. He wasn't a like a Reiki healer or whatever, right? But he understood that everything's in the head, in your mind, right? And then you create it from there, right? And your belief in your world view becomes your own reality. That's what he was teaching. His core teachings were based on the fact that you are not helpless, that you're not a victim, that you actually creating your own reality, and your power is here. You need to reach your higher self, connect with your higher self, and it's a simple thing to do. It's the art of remembering who you are. It's the art of remembering who you are. Okay, so I said another concept to use is the law of assumption, the same as Neville Goddard. The Neville Goddard is also a great teacher that Wayne Dyer actually was getting his teaching from, being inspired by Neville Goddard, who was actually born and who lived on this earth long before Wayne Dyer came, right? So remember that authors get inspired by other past authors. You understand, like how I'm getting inspired by Wayne Dyer. Not that I'm an author at this moment, but at the end of the day, I love writing, right? But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that people get inspired by other people that have achieved great things and people that are able to teach other people, right? So you always have the teacher. But remember, the teacher will only appear when the student is ready. The teacher shall only appear when the student is ready. When you're ready for that information, then Spirit is going to align you to information like this. You know what I mean? And other information like Wayne Dyer's books and Neville Goddard's and Florence Shin. You start getting connected to all the right information because now you're ready for it, right? So remember, your teacher is not just only a person, can also be content. Information is your teacher. Hello, sweetie pie. Oro. How are you? Is it Oria? Oria, sorry. How are you doing? Today we're talking about manifesting and creating, but I'm speaking about Wayne Dyer's teachings here. I don't know if you came across this before. It's the book called Wishes Fulfilled, right? Wishes Fulfilled. Mastering the art of manifesting and creating your own reality. That's what we're talking about today, right? If you guys have not yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so. Please, it's going to help me and it's going to help everybody else who's connected to this type of information, right? Remember that this is not new information. However, it is information that I am actually expressing with my own understanding. You understand? So what I might be saying today might just trigger an understanding and trigger something that's going to make your life change, right? But you are getting more information that's aligned to your awareness and your awakeness, okay? So the use of the powerful term saying I am is powerful. Everything after I am. Whatever you say and believe after saying I am wonderful. Now that is my power. I believe I'm wonderful.